Folks, welcome back. It's not the show where you wrestle with your budget. It's not the show where you wrestle with your conscience. It is wrestling with emotion. And going into this weekend, you know we can only be talking one thing. No, it's not MJF and Adam Cole's budding friendship and eventual all-in match. It is the party of the summer, headed to the Motor City, Detroit, Michigan. And if you're having a party this summer, make sure you get to Outlet Liquor, the place to buy a case. And speaking of parties, I know our panel is ready to do so. So let's get them in here. We got Slick L. We got your friend, my friend, our friend, Jake Micah. We got Rob Ryan. We got Ernie Green. And we have Michael Partham. We have a stacked house, full house. Shout out Uncle Joey. How are we doing, gents?
Everyone looking forward to the SummerSlam.
Yep, feeling excited. Biggest party this summer's coming up. Yeah,
Great
let
times.
me talk to you.
Let me
Seriously.
talk to you.
And shout out if you're following us on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. But we are rocking and rolling SummerSlam. WWE, guys, it's been a back and forth affair over these last 6 months. We had the shocking outcome of Reigns over Rhodes, a couple months ago at WrestleMania. Rhodes has been stuck in kind of a weird neutral since then. What storyline are you guys focusing on kind of going into SummerSlam here this Saturday?
Are they actually going to put LA Knight over in something for a change?
Oh, it's got to be, right? Hold up. It's got to. If it's the Slim Jim Battle Royal, he's getting the Macho Man spot for Slim Jim, right? Like it's too perfect. Snap it to a Slim Jim, yeah.
I like it.
It's too
like
perfect.
It. I think it's a good.
We're in this Battle Royal.
I would assume it'll end up being
everybody
like 15
else.
to 20.
Everybody.
Have they
else.
really announced anybody but LA Knight?
I think they had Nakamura and someone else.
Sheamus.
Yeah.
Um,
It's gonna be the rest
Gable
of the mid-card.
and
I mean,
Otis.
yeah.
There's definitely going to be a douche in there, but
maybe some NXT guys. Maybe we'll get maybe get a couple surprise NXT guys in there. Who knows? Maybe not. I wouldn't imagine like big
Brian Breaker
debut.
from Michigan. That might happen.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Okay. Well, hey, let's get into it, gents. We'll start off with the Slim Jim Battle Royal. Just recapping here, we had 8 people submit picks for last round. Nobody got 100%. Let's see. Nobody even did better than 4 out of 6. So WWE is getting better, a little bit better at becoming less predictable at Money in the Bank. So we'll see. But let's get into it. Let's talk Slim Jim SummerSlam Battle Royal. You guys kind of let it off, so I'll tee up here. Is anyone predicting LA Knight not to win this match?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
All right, I was gonna say, let me talk to you if that's the case. But let's just hypothetically go. Who could be the winner if it's not LA Knight?
Nakamura.
Bronson Reed.
Just feels like Nakamura doesn't need this rub. Bronson Reed tried to have his rub when he in Buffalo when he attacked Tommaso Ciampa, but that didn't really go too well for him.
Does Dom have a match?
No.
Throw Dom.
Well, I mean, Dom's busy defending the North American title on NXT every other week.
Imagine, oh my god!
I could actually see
and on the Great American Bash. So he's already had his pay-per-view rub.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Dom
probably
will
recovered
be
from that
there in
cool-
some capacity. I just think that would be hilarious if the reaction from SummerSlam, if Rhea
Oh, you know what?
Dom
Now that you
win the
say it, I
Battle
could
Royal.
totally see the ring starting to clear, and then halfway through the match, Dom makes his entrance, and the boos are just like crazy. Like, let's face it, that would be pretty big.
But other than that, I don't really have many names for you.
All right, so and we're all in on LA Knight. Is there any reason to really continue with this one?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's get into it.
How many of us actually believe there's going to be a push coming after SummerSlam for LA Knight, and this isn't just a consolation prize to us fish to throw to the seals to keep us happy or whatever?
I mean, I don't know what kind of push we're gonna get at this point. Like, I feel like they already missed the opportunity where you could have had an easy way to do it with the briefcase. But
I don't know, man.
Or the US title.
Really, I mean, the more that they don't push him, the more momentum he's building. I think the crowd is getting more. I think the crowd's getting more into him the more that they don't push him. So I think that, as much as we're frustrated, I think they're actually doing the right thing because
let's not give
WWE
too much credit. I don't think that's by design. I don't think they learn from their lessons. There are too many.
You can't even tell me they're not dropping the ball, not having him weekly on SmackDown. The fact that he's getting post-show spots with Hit Row, I get it. Hit Row does have a lot of heat right now, so they can come out and he can make fun of him. But My goodness, that man should be having 5 to 10 minutes on SmackDown every week. No question asked.
Yeah,
Right now. It's hard to come by.
The U.S. title, I think, too. Like,
It should have been the
why
U.S.
is
title
Theory
anyway.
not defending that on
Yeah.
the SummerSlam card? Where is Austin Theory?
Well, Santos is about to beat his ass for it. That's why they're like,
Very
we don't
fair,
need to put
very
Theory through
fair.
that. If Bray Wyatt were to come back during this show, wouldn't messing with LA Knight make the most sense?
I did say that in the
Been there,
pre-show.
done that.
But that was where he left off, and
I'm
he's
just
as hot
saying-
as ever now, and that's a big feud they could put him in again right away.
I'm just
I'm just
convinced
saying.
he's going to show up and like attack Cody or something.
Speaking of showing up and attacking, Dwayne
That's another
O'Mania
guy.
in the building. Dwayne, who you got in the Slim Jim Battle Royale?
LA Knight, probably, right? I mean, what else are you supposed to do with him? I agree with a lot of you, but I think I agree with the most right now with Ernie, because you go online.
Can you say that one more time, please?
I agree with Ernie. I agree with Ernie.
Let's clip that.
I feel like they're at a spot, they're in a position with him where what he's done with his character, his persona, and his position on his own has been incredible. But the more they don't push him, the bigger he gets. It's like, in spite of everything else, the fans, the more you don't push him, the bigger he becomes, and the more you see him online.
But there is a breaking point with that, and they could just as easily just bury him to the point where people don't care anymore, like a Zack Ryder
I
or
don't think
somebody
that's
else.
going to happen. I don't.
Here's the good thing is we know who likes him and who doesn't in that office mostly, and one of those guys is gone for the foreseeable future. So LA
This is
Knight might be in a good
gone.
spot right now.
This is
He
a
might
good
be gone
point.
forever, given what happened yesterday, but that's a whole different can of worms.
I'm just saying.
1,000%. I think we all agree. Is this going to be a Triple H SummerSlam though?
Yeah,
It has
Yes.
to be.
Okay, all right. I love to hear that. I love to hear that. So if that is the case, then this next match should be an absolute banger because obviously Shayna Baszler, a lot of stock for Triple H. MMA rules match. Can't recall the last time I saw this one in WWE. Well, let's fire it up. Let's start off with Parthy. Go around the horn. Ernie, Rob, Dwayne. Who you got? Rousey, Baszler.
I think it's an easy call for Shayna if Ronda is indeed on her way out. I've heard speculation, not just rumor, not even rumors, just a thought of what if they wanted to extend this and first give the victory to Ronda and then do Shayna's revenge at Payback. The fact that they're going with a big stipulation like this right off the bat tells me this is a one-off match and it's Rousey's heart out and it's Shayna. She's gonna put her friend Shayna over and hopefully Shayna gets a push out of that. As far as MMA rules, my thoughts are probably win by knockout or submission, something to that effect, or maybe referee stoppage. If it were me, I would make MMA rules where there's no rope breaks because you don't get that in the octagon. But as far as a winner, I think it's an easy one for Shayna.
Are they going to have rounds? Like, is it going to be like a pure?
That
pure
would be
rules
appropriate,
match?
but we don't know.
Like, because that's what
They
I'm
haven't
wondering if they're
really-
just copying pure rules and they're just
They
going to
probably
be like
should.
MMA
they
rules.
haven't really said, but
Nothing.
I mean, I don't really have anything to add to what Partham just said. I'm picking Ronda also for the same reason. I don't think
Ronda
anybody
also.
wants- No, I mean Shayna. My apologies.
I was
don't-
gonna say.
I don't. I don't
Mark
think
What did
anybody
you hear?
on- No, they're not. I don't think like anybody cares about Ronda. Ronda has had like the biggest fall from grace from like main eventing, the first female main event WrestleMania, which her, obviously, she was one of the main characters in that. So like nobody cares about her anymore, and I don't blame them because she can't. Like I don't know what happened to her, but she can't talk or wrestle anymore. And she seems like she's been mailing it in for the entire second run. And Shayna is an underutilized talent, and I'm picking Shayna.
Yeah, I mean, not much to add here. Also, I'm going Shayna. I really wished it was a fight pit match, but I guess we'll see what the MMA rules match entails. I think they'll add rounds because why would there be MMA rules? You could have just done a TKO submission match. So I think there's going to be rounds, but there's not really much to add. Shayna's going to win because, Ronda's just falling off a cliff.
I mean, common sense for me says Shayna. I mean, especially if Ronda is on her way out. It's just what. Remember the Lions Den matches that they used to do with like Ken Shamrock,
Yeah.
Blackman? Like, could this be anything kind of like that? Were those MMA rules?
If there was going to be a cage involved, I'm sure they'd specify it. They're just talking about
No,
rules,
but
not
like-
like a setting.
Yeah, Partham, that was a good point, though. Like, this is basically like the equivalent of Hell in a Cell for these two girls. Because let's face it, Hell in a Cell doesn't mean what it used to. Like, this is the top tier match that you can put these two in. Now, with that said, if it was a Vince show, I would be betting on rope breaks not like counting like that. Like, they would let him release the hold for sure. But with a Triple H show, I think they'll pay attention and make those accurate. Michael, what do you got?
Ronda's so uninterested in being a real wrestler. They're doing an MMA rules match.
Seriously.
It's hilarious. So give me Shayna and get Ronda out of here. That's what I think's happening here.
Yeah, Ronda's gonna throw a couple judo throws, try and go for a few arm bars. Take a shot every time they say Ronda's looking for an arm bar. You might be very intoxicated by the end, and it might only be like a 5-minute match. So I think Ronda's on the way out. This is the last time we see her for a bit because Shayna beats her. Probably, if it has this stipulation, with her own move. She beats Ronda via the armbar.
That would be awesome.
Let's do it.
One little touch I might add is now that they're sort of married to the UFC. Let's bring the UFC referee in for this MMA rules match.
Yeah, bring freaking Cormier back. Maybe he can do it.
There we go.
First time.
All right. Maniac, who you got?
Well, we have another member of our panel in here before I go with my pick.
Oh
And
my
something tells me you want to hear his pick. McAdoo, who do we got? Rousey, Baszler.
So, man,
Full house tonight.
Well, you know something? I'm a homer. I don't care. I'm gonna stick with Ronda. I don't care. Give me all the hate.
Jeez.
I do want to point out, all I said was common sense to me, says Shayna, and I wasn't able to finish my statement.
I agree. You never really made a pick. What do you got?
I'm going Ronda.
Okay. Dre's got Ronda. I agree. If it was a Vince show, I could see Ronda, but this just seems like too good of a spot for the Shayna Baszler, who has become, obviously, I think, better favor with Triple H than Ronda. I think that Ronda will be doing her a favor by allowing her to kind of have a prolonged Brock Lesnar, John Cena squash, and hopefully that's what we get in that match. But I think that the next match is just going to be, what, meaty men slapping meat?
Oh,
We got Gunther with Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci versus Drew McIntyre. What do we got, Parthy?
McAdoo, real quick. LA Knight for the Battle Royal?
Yes, he does. Sorry about that.
I honestly, though, I don't know. I don't want to pick him, but I don't know anyone else that's in the match. So screw it.
Right. All right. So
What if he got eliminated? What if he got eliminated first?
oh man.
If the battle royal was smart, they'd all just go right to LA Knight and just get him out of there. Just
Seriously.
All right.
Omos and
All right,
LA
guys.
Knight are the first
What if it
one.
was like a situation with Santino Morella? He literally slides and they throw him over.
Omos squashes.
All right, guys. Time is sort of the essence here. We're in a little bit of a crunch. Let's
We
make
got
this
it.
quick. Do we have anybody going with
Dude.
Drew McIntyre for this match instead of Gunther? Because Gunther's eyeing those Intercontinental title records
We're in a
that he's
time
supposed
crunch?
to break. The Honky Tonk Man and everybody else. Is anybody picking Drew
Unfortunately,
McIntyre?
I want to pick McIntyre, but I got to go with Gunther.
Yeah, I want to as well.
yeah, they're not going to end the streak
I'm
right
going
before
Gunther.
he breaks it.
I
Clean
will
sweep?
say our panel member who's not here, Tisha P, she picks McIntyre. So our first two
Wow.
rounds were LA
Okay.
Knight and Shayna, but she's on McIntyre for the record.
All right.
I mean, this is probably going to be an absolute
Pick it with her heart.
banger.
This
It's gonna
should
be
be
a
a
banger of a
banger,
match.
of course. Let's face it. If you're Drew McIntyre, you have a chip on your shoulder. He's never let effort become a question, even when he doesn't get the best spots and everything like that. So super excited. This definitely could be a match that steals the show, no doubt about it. This Saturday at Detroit. By the way, I know we've said it a couple times on the show in the build-up, but I mean, basically half of this crew, more than half of this chat, will be in Detroit on Saturday for SummerSlam. We'll be at the WWE Superstore. We'll be at the Rays Tigers, and then we will be at the Party of the Summer Saturday night in Detroit. So super excited about that. And we all have Gunther except for Tisha B, who has McIntyre. All right, moving on.
Yeah.
We got Ricochet versus Logan Paul. I don't know about this feud, guys. This is it's lost a little bit of momentum on me, I will say. But though on the flip side, Logan Paul has never had a bad PLE match. I will say that for a certain at this point. So with that said, I'm predicting a banger and for Logan Paul to be your winner in this match. He's got to get a W. He's got to start stacking some dubs on his side of things. Slick, let's go Slick, Micah, Dwayne, and around the horn here. Who you guys got?
I was very, very surprised to see how big of an underdog Ricochet was for this match. I think WWE crowds love seeing Logan Paul lose. There's a reason not around as often as some of these other guys. And like you said, he'll put on a banger of a match. This is going to be crazy. This is going to be the WWE equivalent to a spot fest. But I'm going Ricochet. I think the crowd will just be happy to see Logan Paul lose, and it doesn't really matter if he keeps losing or not. They're going to keep him around. He's that much of a star. Going with Ricochet, though.
If you guys have seen, I don't remember what year it was, 6 years ago maybe, Ricochet and Will Ospreay, PWG, all that crazy flippy match went viral, whatever. I think that these two are going to try to do whatever the WWE equivalent of that is. They've said this is going to be the most viral match in WWE history multiple times in the build-up. So I'm sure, like you said, this is going to be the equivalent of a spot fest. There's going to be some crazy things. As much as I would love my boy Rick to win, I think Logan Paul, he's lost his last 2 singles matches at big stages. So I think they get him back a dub here and he gets a win. But Ricochet looks like a superhero as usual.
I think Ricochet wins only because he has so much more to lose by losing rather than Logan Paul. I mean, Logan Paul is probably going to go away again for 2 months. People are going to forget about this match and the fact that he lost. And what do you do with Ricochet then? I mean, like, I feel like they've been really making a valiant effort to build him a little bit here to be a true, at least a mid-card guy, a legitimate mid-card guy. Whereas in the past, he's just, what do you do with him? And he's been spotlighted a lot. I go with Ricochet here just because Logan Paul loses nothing from losing. He really doesn't. He doesn't. It doesn't matter. He'll show up. He'll get booed. He'll get cheered. Whatever. Like, Ricochet has much more to lose from losing rather than Logan Paul. So I'm going Ricochet.
Yeah, I'm going Logan Paul. I kind of disagree with Dwayne saying Ricochet is always just a mid-card. He's not going to have many pay-per-view matches, single matches like this again. So he's just there to do the high-flying, the viral stuff like everyone's talking about. There's going to be a viral match. It's going to be amazing. But at the end, Samantha Irvin is going to be announcing the winner of this match is Logan Paul.
That was good. That was good.
What do you disagree with exactly? Like, I don't understand.
That I don't think he has anything to lose just because they're never going to really push him to a title. He's just a mid-card kind of viral guy that just
I'm not saying he's going to get pushed to be a WWE title champion, at least an IC champion, a USA champion. Like, you just can't have him constantly losing and then expect him to be any type of a draw. Like, it's just, for me, it's just like Logan Paul will leave for 2 months. He'll go fight. He'll go box somebody. He'll come back and he won't lose any steam at all. He won't.
Pretty sure they moved this match up on the card so he can go to his brother's boxing match.
Literally,
right?
yeah. Like,
he's getting on that PJ right away.
It's pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. Pretty sick life to be wrestling at PLE and be like, I gotta get to this other pay-per-view.
I gotta get to Dallas, bro.
Imagine he wins and then cuts a promo and's like, all right, I'm going to the real pay-per-view tonight.
I got Logan Paul. I think that he's not going to win clean. I think there's going to be some chicanery to protect Ricochet. It might be like Ricochet's next feud or someone interfering, somebody. I just think that Logan Paul wins, but not clean to protect Ricochet.
Prime bottle to the face.
Yeah.
I could see that. There's conflicting things here where, and I know Logan Paul's lost to Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, but those are championship matches, and you don't necessarily have celebrities go over your champions, of course. But outside of championship matches, usually celebrities don't lose, but maybe that only applies to one-off appearances at WrestleMania. On the other hand, the heel went over on the Go Home show, and Wrestling 101 dictates that you put the heel over if the face is going to go over at the pay-per-view. But I think at some point you've got to make Logan Paul look pretty legitimate without just loss after loss after loss, even if it's to champions. I think they're going to turn the heat up on Logan Paul. Ricochet, I mean, people are just starting to get into Ricochet because of his high-flying, spots with Logan Paul. I don't think Ricochet's quite there over as a babyface as much as Logan Paul is over as a heel. So my thoughts are they're going to give it to Logan Paul. Whether he goes away or not after this, they're going to want to give him a W to keep him looking legitimate and to give him even more heel heat as it is.
Making his debut on the picks panel by sending in his picks this week, Gatesy has Logan Paul. Tisha P has Logan Paul. Biancadu, who do you got to close out the picks?
Real quick, both Pauls lose tomorrow.
Hey,
Jake Paul doesn't lose matches.
I like that. I like that. I'm going to lock that in for McAdoo. Okay. And we've gotten kind of now, truthfully, with respect to these performers, I view this as kind of the undercard of SummerSlam. And I think these next 4, any of them could truly be a main event. So let's get into it. Now, again, WWE will try and convince you that there really is only one main event no matter what, but they all are of that quality. Let's get into it. Triple threat match. Asuka versus The Opportunity. Charlotte Flair versus the EST. Bianca Belair. McAdoo, why don't you tee us up for this one? We'll go around the horn, Parthy, Ernie, and company.
I don't know. I'm leaning towards Asuka, but every time you say, "Oh yeah, this champion can retain," you have Charlotte Flair right there in the midst. But I'm just gonna bite the bullet and just say Asuka. With that being said,
my initial thoughts were Charlotte, that this was all to get another championship belt title reign, as short as it might be, under her belt, and put her that much closer to her father's record, which I'm sure it's what they want to do. And then, of course, have Io Sky come in with the briefcase and then cash it in. And Charlotte has another shortest reign possible, but it's still a title reign for her. But they've been pairing Charlotte and Bianca so much, either in a promo or in a tag team, can they coexist? Yes. Asuka's kind of been, the third wheel in all this, the champion, which only makes me suspect that they want to do a big Charlotte and Bianca match, but down the road, possibly as far as WrestleMania, and Asuka's going to hang on to the title for now until one of them wins it farther down the road. So it's funny because Asuka hasn't factored into this matchup so far as promos go and segments, but that only makes me suspect that she's going to keep the title and that Charlotte and Bianca are going to have some other kind of program down the line. So I'm going to actually say Asuka retains, even though my gut tells me that Charlotte might win just to get a title reign and then Io cashes in. That would be the typical scenario, but I'm going to say Asuka.
To me, this is going to tell us if this is a Vince show or a Hunter
Yes.
Hearst Helmsley show.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a Hunter Hearst Helmsley show, so I'm picking Asuka. If I thought it was going to be a Vince show, I would pick Charlotte because Vince cannot book anybody except for Charlotte to win matches, which is absolutely ridiculous. But Hunter has done a really good job. I thought the ending of the Bianca match, the way her creative way of cheating was awesome, and he did a great job with Asuka also in NXT, obviously. And I'm picking Asuka for that reason.
Yeah, I'm really up in the air in this one because I was thinking about the Charlotte and Io cash-in because she's been a part of the storyline as much as she's been in part of the storyline even more than Asuka's been part of the storyline, let's be honest. But I kind of agree where I think the Charlotte-Bianca feud is going to happen without the title for now and then build off until probably Mania. So I think I'm going to go Asuka, but I think there'll be a hint of Io at some point in this match.
I got Asuka with Io cashing in after the win.
I got the same thing as Dwayne. As much as I think that Charlotte Flair is eyeing down a new title and wants to hold it, it's not time yet. And that Charlotte and Bianca feud has way more legs to it. I think it could be a Mania feud, like you guys said, too.
I'm ready for a feud between Asuka and Io that involves them just yelling at each other in
Japanese.
No English.
That's
No
been the
English
story.
at all.
That's really been the story too. Is every time Asuka pops up and says something backstage or cuts a promo, Io is right there.
Yeah,
talking
I'm
shit,
ready
or
for it.
Io's coming
I'm ready
up
to
to her.
crap up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm ready to get my hooked on phonics on just so I can figure out what the hell they're saying to each other.
You guys gave me an idea there because I have Asuka as well because I think they're going to lead into Asuka and Io somehow. And what better way to do it with Io cashing in right after, potentially winning, and then a rematch down the line with Asuka at another said pay-per-view. However, I'm kind of down with Partham's idea of Charlotte goes through a war and wins the title just for her to have it taken right off by Io coming in and cashing in. But I think it's going to be the exact opposite with Asuka.
You got Slick closing in on his 200th pick for this show. You got you got Partham closing in on pick 200. Partham will actually hit 200 this episode. He had 192 coming in. All I gotta say is it's so tough to get a pick on everybody. So the fact that I could pick Charlotte Flair in a championship match and gain a pick on every member of this panel is just simply too
Jason,
great
those
of an
picks.
opportunity. So
Okay.
I will take Charlotte Flair in this match. I want
Not a
Asuka for
bad
the
idea.
record.
Not
But
a
the
bad
gambler
idea.
in me is taking Charlotte Flair just because it's a championship match. And like a lot of you guys have said, if Io Sky is just going to cash in after, then, to be honest, it's not really a big deal who can.
I don't think so.
retains
I think if
between
she's going
Asuka.
to cash in, Asuka should win because Asuka should get the nod
build
of
the
beating
feud?
Bianca and Charlotte and being a strong champion, and then Io wins on her. I think if
Okay.
you have Asuka lose and then cash in, it's like
I
you're
agree.
just
I
getting
agree.
rid of Asuka.
It's just,
I-
Asuka from day one, like what her first like WrestleMania, like she
But
comes
whose
in
fault
as this
is that?
undefeated.
Whose
I know,
fault
and
is that,
again,
though?
I'm just saying
Yeah.
they've tarnished this. So maybe
Yeah.
maybe Paul is on his way to rebuilding that. So
Yeah.
we'll see if it's got.
That's what I'm
But
hoping for.
all right,
Come on,
let's keep
Paul.
on grinding here. So everyone is on Asuka except for me, who's on Charlotte Flair. No big deal. Just like the most just the most winning women's WWE wrestler of all time. Okay, Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. The third part of this match, the first of three three-peats here, taking place. Triple main event, yada yada, whatever you want to say. How does the story go? I mean, all I gotta say is that if Cody Rhodes loses this match, he might as well head back to TNT and AEW because I don't know what the fuck they're doing with him. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but the only verdict is for Cody to win this match in my mind. Slick, Michael, what do you guys got?
I am right there with you. I think this will be a cool match. But yeah, if Cody loses this, Vince came out of the grave or avoided the feds already because need I say more? But Cody's gonna win, and I think what goes up must come down in this story of Cody Rhodes. This book is very chapter oriented. And we're not even close to the final chapter, and we all know what the final chapter is because, in my opinion, the book should have ended 15 chapters ago. But I think Cody wins here, finishes with Brock, and dare I say, Maniac said this before the show, but no one was here to hear it. Wyndham is back on Saturday. You heard it here first. I've never said it in my life. But
He's never
will
said
be
Wyndham
there.
was coming back.
Wyndham will be there. I've never said that.
This is
He'll
the
be there,
first
though.
time Slick's ever predicted Wyndham's coming back. He's never been wrong about it before. Definitely write it down. Wyndham, pencil that in. So you got Rhodes and
Guaranteed.
Wyndham attacking right
Underline it, highlight it, star it.
Guaranteed.
All right. Well, hey, and let's face it, that is Trips Wyndham. So we'll go over that. But Michael, what do you got?
My Wyndham.
It's got the man just had a documentary come out this week for Christ's sake.
Yes.
Cody has to
What
go
are we
over
doing
here. It's gonna be brutal though. There's gonna be. I think this is where we get our color. Cody's gonna get some blood going. Brock is going to put a beat down, and Cody will be super Cody and persevere, make it out, and we'll see what happens after. Who knows? There could be a plethora of options after for Cody. It's very interesting to see what Cody's going to do after WrestleMania, but I think he gets his big win over Brock Lesnar. There's two people I think who are need to come out of this looking really strong this SummerSlam, and Cody Rhodes is number one on that list. So I think he needs a big beat down to Brock.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes. I mean, I'm sure everybody here has already watched the documentary and incredibly well done. And I don't know how you don't give him the W against Brock on the heels of that documentary being released and how well done it was. And I love the prediction of Wyndham / Bray / whoever Wyatt 6 they decide to roll out for this. I agree that is a phenomenal next opponent for Cody Rhodes, and just the different type of storylines you come up with that. Or I understand that it could, it's already been announced that he's not returning to the ring. But if he were to return to the ring, RKO and Cody would make sense. It would make a lot of sense.
All right.
Yeah,
what do you got, Robbie?
This is going to be the greatest moment of my life when Kingdom hits on Saturday night. I've been waiting for forever. I got to go with my
He's
boy.
about to cry, dude.
The next chapter is going to start. I'm into the story. I'm ready for the book to be written after his career is over. We got the documentary. Now we just need the book of how he finishes the story. And he's finishing the chapter on Saturday against Brock. We're going with Cody. And before I keep forgetting, can we just talk about how McAdoo's wearing a Lions jersey and a Buffalo Bills hat?
Detroit.
Ernie.
He's trying to get the Detroit vibes going. I'm good with it.
Ford Field, baby.
Okay, go, Ernie Partham, go because I want to flame Rob.
Also, keep in mind the Buffalo Bills were 2-0 at Ford Field last year.
It's true.
It's a Ernie. Go ahead.
Proven fact.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, the voice of reason is here.
Thank goodness.
So I'm picking Cody, and I just want to say that the promos between Bray Wyatt and Cody would be out of this world, amazingly epic. So I'm looking forward to that if that's where they go. Hopefully, I mean, they're just honestly just killing time before Cody Roman 2 at WrestleMania, however they're going to do it. So they got to do something with them. I think that the whole angle of like, hey, we got to build them up to be tough enough to beat Roman. No, Brock's one person, and hopefully Bray's the next person. So I'm picking Cody.
Cody Rhodes might wrestle The Rock before Roman does.
There's
Or
no
Grayson
stipulation
Waller.
in this match, although there should be. There's no explanation for this entire feud, although there should be.
Well,
If they wanted to, they could retcon a whole Paul Heyman paid off Brock Lesnar to take out Cody Rhodes on behalf of Roman Reigns thing.
Or Triple
But
H.
they're not smart enough to do that, and we all know that. Cody's got to just go over and end this thing once and for all. It's gone on too long.
I read something the other day that what's his name? Who's Michael Cole's partner on SmackDown?
Wade Barrett.
Wade Barrett kind of like broke something a couple weeks ago, saying that Brock was mad that his match.
Oh,
happened
that's
before.
yeah.
They've said that. That's a terrible reason.
They've
though.
been using that
Brock
with
always
Brock
says-
for years.
what
Not unlike
did they say? I
Logan
didn't even
Paul
hear
right
that.
now. Brock
They-
always says he likes to go on first if he's not going on last, so
Yeah.
he can get out of there. So that was
They said
just-
Brock was
yeah.
mad
Sorry.
Cody took his main event spot, but Cody won the Rumble. Like, what do you want him to do?
Well, sorry,
Anyways.
sorry, Brock. Logan Paul's got to get out of here first. McAdoo, what do you
Yeah,
got?
I bet that made him happy.
I mean, it's something Cody Rhodes. That's all it is. He's got to help finish the story.
Okay. I like it. So we're all on Rhodes. My one prediction that I want to add in right now is that I think that Lesnar will hit an F5 in the first 60 seconds of this match. I don't know how
agree.
it'll happen, but they're going to do a callback to the John Cena squash, which was 9 years ago, which that happened and obviously threw everybody off.
Maniac,
we got
Maniac. I think that could be the match, and then Cody just wins. Like, Cody could just get ragdolled, and everybody's like, "Oh shit! Like, is Cody really about to lose?" And then he just does.
Yeah,
it.
he just rallies right out of the
Yeah.
gate. I like it. Brock's not
I'm
saying
fine.
Brock's not here for a long time. He's here for a good time.
I'm fine with there not being a stipulation either. It could be just a straight up match.
Brock really don't like stipulations. He does
yeah,
not
like
like,
he's
he
never
doesn't
been in
like
many
getting
of
involved with
those.
that.
Like
It is just a bit odd.
When
Cody was so
Ambrose
focused
wanted-
on the championship. Why is he still focused on Lesnar? I think that's
Because
kind of
this
the point
should have
part
been
of
for
it.
the championship. He should have won at
Yeah,
WrestleMania, and Roman could have done all the stuff he's done without the title.
It
Well,
was
agreed,
probably
agreed.
that probably was the plan or something.
Why can't we just have a good old fashioned
Someone who was doing it without a title for years was our guy Seth freaking Rollins. So finally they brought Big Gold back. We got Seth freaking Rollins in part 3 against Finn Balor. I will lead it off. I really feel for Finn Balor here, but you guys said it. I just can't see Seth Rollins losing this early into his reign. It would kind of become forgettable, in my opinion, even though it might be putting over Finn in the process. Who knows? Because the Judgment Day is a major championship away from being a super faction for sure. But I will go with Seth freaking Rollins to get it done in Detroit. Slick, what do you got?
I didn't actually know who I was going to pick until just now because I just whipped something up in my head. Because I think you could do a lot more if Finn wins, given that Priest has the belt. Yeah, stir the pot, Micah. And like the tension would build there, and then I think like Seth might get a rematch or something, but still lose, or I don't know. There's so many ways you can do it. You just have to put the
almost there.
title on Finn to create some tension in Judgment Day. But you can keep Seth around right in the title picture. It's not like he's going out anywhere. He's the most over guy every Monday night. I think you keep him in the feud, but you put this title on Finn. I think by some tomfoolery with the Judgment Day, and the options are endless right there because of the tension between Priest and Finn, with Seth even potentially still in the picture. So I'm actually going to go with Finn.
You almost booked exactly what I was about to say, Slick. So we're on the same page. I got Finn here. I think that the Judgment Day is going to be booked looking really they'll look great with all that gold and that briefcase, and that's the kicker here. I think they'll tease a moment of Priest, maybe cashing in on Finn after. Maybe he jumps into the ring right after with the belt or something like that. But I don't think it happens. I think that this visual is going to be the three of them with their belts, and then Priest with his Money in the Bank, and we get some tension with them. Back and forth. It's like, oh, there's protection for the Judgment Day, but is Priest going to get jealous? All that stuff. And like you said, Rollins can stay right along in there. Rollins could even beat Balor at Payback, and then Priest cashes in on Rollins. And then you have Balor wanting his rematch, Rollins wanting his rematch, Priest being champion. This feels like Rollins and the Judgment Day still has legs, and it still feels like Balor and Priest has legs. And I think Balor is due for his moment. So I'm going with Finn.
So I have Seth winning, and maybe you guys can talk me out of it, but
let me talk to you.
Winning, kind of in the sense of the way it almost happened on Monday night. I think Priest will attempt to cash in during the match when Seth is down, and then him and Finn get into a feud, leading to some type of roll up or some type of stomp from Seth, leading to Seth winning, leading to the feud that looked like it was teased that it was going to happen beforehand between Finn and Priest. I'm very torn here because I agree with both of you. I think Finn should, the Judgment Day, Finn winning Judgment Day really continues to push that faction and pushes that angle of the storyline. But I also have a really hard time seeing Seth being champion for just 2 months after how long he went without a belt. So I'm going to go Seth. I couldn't talk myself out of it.
Yeah, this is a tricky one. I agree with Slick and Micah, and I also see where Dwayne's coming from. But I just think there's more stories to come if Finn is champion than if Seth is champion, because then you're not really getting the tease within the Judgment Day, which just adds more. You see what the bloodline's going on. There was tension in there between them forever, and they just built it. And I know there's reports that they want to make Judgment Day the next bloodline story type-esque. So I think I'm going to go Finn because I just think there's more to it. But here's a question. Is there a possibility of Demon coming out?
I think so.
I'm going to go no.
I don't think Demon's coming out. I mean, I love the Demon, but that'd be awesome. I am predicting Finn, even though I want to pick Seth. I think my head says I want nothing more than for Dirty Dom to cost Seth the title. That would be the ultimate. The crowd will lose his mind because Dirty Dom is awesome, and he's the biggest POS heel in the business right now. And I know, and I think about the territory that covers, and yes, I said it. He has so much heat. If he cost Seth the title, the Ford Field might riot at the SummerSlam. So that's my.
I will probably rush the
pissed.
field. I'm not gonna lie.
Exactly. All right.
And our seats are a little bit up there, so
I'm showing up to Dom's
We're making an effort
myself, and I'm going to get his cellmates, and we're going for him.
Arthur, what do you got?
Wait, so Ernie, who do you have?
I have Finn.
Yeah, I agree with who else had Seth? I don't know. It's too soon for Seth to lose the title.
Yeah.
2 months. You're trying to establish this perceived secondary title as an equally legitimate title, and you have quite a legitimate champion holding it right now. The only guy that Roman Reigns couldn't beat in any of his matches in his epic title reign. It's the only thing that's making Seth legitimate as a champion, and you're going to have him lose the belt after 2 months. I think there's plenty of story to tell, even if Finn doesn't win. Actually, I can picture Damian once again inadvertently maybe costing Finn the match. And then when Damian tries to cash in on Seth later on, maybe that night or maybe at a pay-per-view down the road, Finn deliberately costs Damian that match. And then there's the not just tension, but a full-on feud between the two of those guys. I don't think you need to put the title on Finn to tell a good Judgment Day implosion story if that's what they're going for. And Seth's got to stay the champion for now to really make that belt legitimate. So I'm going with Seth.
Exactly. Like if you all the talk when they first brought this title out was it's not a secondary championship. It's a legitimate.
Why is Finn not a legitimate guy? They've been building him up for the last year. He fought Edge in a feud. Like Edge is Finn's a guy that can hold the world heavyweight title. I know, but so did Seth Rollins. What are we talking about?
Nobody's saying he's not a legitimate guy. It's just you just can't have the title falling off like falling off a guy who
You can
worked
have
his ass
short title reigns. He's had 18 title defenses on TV and a house show. It's not like he hasn't defended. And they have
I don't know, man.
they have two very long
You can
title
have,
reigns
you can
going
have
on.
short title reigns,
They've had-
but not from the
They've
title.
had a
reign
they've had
that
a
was on the
3-year
show.
title reign and a year title reign going on right now. So
All right.
it doesn't mean like they couldn't switch it over.
All
That's
right,
my only
McAdoo,
defense
McAdoo, what's on your mind?
You guys already know.
But no, I mean, I guess the question is if Seth Rollins has to leave to do pub for Captain America 3, that's probably his biggest opponent right now.
There's no,
but
ain't
all
no
right.
pub getting done right now, but
Seriously, but hey, speaking of pub, we are there for our main event. Shout out for everyone tuning in with us here on Wrestling with Emotion. And this is a match that has been a long time in the making. I will give him his dap that about 6 to 9 months ago, Dwayne called that it could eventually lead back to Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns. And I just didn't have faith in the WWE to do that. And I think that I'm not alone in this chat in saying that, but gotta give his dap to get there. Somehow we are here. Somehow there's really no record on the horizon. The only thing that makes you think that Roman has to keep this is eventually finishing the Cody story. Am I correct?
Where's my credit too? I also said that Jason.
Back to, all
I
right.
said it first, Mike. McAdoo. I said it first.
Yeah, I said it too.
Okay, but,
Yeah, I
but
said it
seriously,
also.
guys, is there any actual like
Same.
record? Like he's gotten 1,000 days, he's gotten the longest reign. Like there's no reason that this reign needs to continue, except to lose
Merch.
to Cody Rhodes eventually. Correct, Bartham?
Hulk Hogan, 1,474 days next
Oh.
year after next year's SummerSlam. If they want to be
But
really
Oh.
sick about it,
Next year's
Oh my
SummerSlam.
I
Are you
know,
fucking
I
kidding
know
me?
it's insane. But these
Roman
people
Reigns has, if Roman Reigns
realize who
literally
we're dealing with
if
here.
Roman Reigns has the title next year after SummerSlam, still has the same title next year after SummerSlam, I will literally dress as Roman Reigns for the Bills' first game that I go. I'll just dress exactly like him. Because there's just no way. I'm sorry. There are not 12 more opponents,
Just Roman Reigns
including
isn't
Cody
punishment
Rhodes.
enough. We gotta
Like,
find
there's just
something
not
else to
enough.
dress
So,
it as.
with that said, WWE has a tremendous opportunity. They could turn right-hand man main event Jey Uso into a superstar, world-renowned superstar with a win here. He's been built up to where he do it. He's the only one who's ever pinned the tribal chief. Our main event here, by the way, if you're at your main event for this weekend, get to Outlet Liquor. But with that said, tribal combat for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship and recognition of tribal chief Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman and Solo Sikoa versus Jey Uso. First, I want to hear from Ernie Green.
Thanks. I think Roman's going to win. They have so many big. I would love to see Jey win here because you could have a short reign, couple month reign with Jey and give it back to Roman before he wrestles. That have him be the champion at WrestleMania and have him lose at the SummerSlam. But unfortunately, it's really, really difficult to bet against Roman after this reign where he's just completely defeated everybody. So I'm reluctantly, even though I don't want it to happen, I'm picking Roman.
Okay. Rob Ryan, you going with the logic pick? You taking our tribal chief of the past 3.5 years, or does Jey take over the head of the table?
I take the real tribal chief, the real one, main event, Jey Uso. You know how I roll. I don't pick that fake tribal chief. I only acknowledge one person, and that's Jey Uso.
Get your ones up.
And the
folks.
bunny.
Get your ones up.
And the bunny.
McAdoo, what do you got? You're tribal chief, McAdoo. You're tribal chief.
So,
Oh God.
Jey Uso has never lost at SummerSlam. On the flip side of that, I don't think Roman's ever lost in Saudi. You guys probably can correct me on that if I'm wrong.
Saudi, we're going to Detroit.
Well,
but he
there's
lost at
logic.
NOC.
There's logic. Could Roman end Jay's undefeated streak here, and then Jey and Roman's undefeated streak later? The answer? We'll have to do the first part of this now. Roman Reigns wins Saturday. I almost said tomorrow.
Okay, you got Roman this Saturday, and then you got something else happening months in. You got Jey eventually getting revenge.
We gotta see how this goes.
Okay, all right. McAdoo's only made base. All right, Dwayne, the floor is yours. What do you got?
All right, so I said it, like you said, like almost 9 months ago. If it wasn't going to be Cody, like it would just make sense. The story coming full circle where it started. They were kind of talking about the mental, the mental anguish he put Jay through in the beginning, all of the shit Roman put him through, and with the Sammy build up and all everything Sammy was saying to Jay, like, look what he put you through. Like, you're the real main event guy. You're worth being a champion. Like, it could be you, this, that, the other. It felt like to me they were building this moment then. Like, this was all like almost planned out when this whole storyline began. You know, building him to be, giving him the moniker main event Jey Uso. Well, why would his own cousin give him that moniker if the story does not come full circle? And the only way Roman drops the belt is at one of the big pay-per-views. It'll never happen. I mean, it'll never happen in Saudi. No way. I just don't see it ever happening in Saudi. It's going to happen at one of the bigger pay-per-views, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, or WrestleMania. I can't see them keeping the belt on him till next WrestleMania. And I don't know. I just don't see him dropping it at Royal Rumble. They're bringing the family ancestry into the tribal combat. I think Jay wins, but because of some antics outside of the bloodline, I feel like we're going to get somebody else from that family involved in this match in some way, shape, or form, because of the references to the elders and this, that, and the other. Whether it's Rikishi, or maybe this does start the build with The Rock. Who knows? I don't know. Where's The Rock tomorrow? Where's The Rock supposed to be Saturday night? Anybody know?
Not in Detroit.
In bed.
He's checking on his Brahma Bull.
I'm just saying, like, it would make sense because this long-awaited feud with The Rock, like, it's not like he has to wrestle right now for it to start, right? Like, he doesn't have to wrestle. The guy can just show up, hit a rock bottom, and then cost him the match, literally. And then you have this year-long feud the same way you did with Cena and The Rock, or when they had that WrestleMania match booked between them.
Twice in a lifetime.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, why not? Why not? Like, why not? And then but in the same sense, that could almost overshadow Jay's run as the new tribal chief.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know. I just have Jay winning because I just feel like the storyline was built to this moment. Like, we're going to get what we should have got between Sammy and Roman, in my opinion, in Montreal. But I think we're going to get that tonight Saturday night with Jay.
What if WWE rewrites its own history? The Rock comes out and raises Jey Uso's hand in front of the crowd, just like he did with Roman when they were booing like crazy. But you know that moment would fucking pop, and WWE could rewrite its own history and be like, "All right,
this is gonna
me,
I'm
Partham.
such a mark, but I just got chills when you said
that. Would be sick. That would be sick.
Yeah.
Partham, give it to me. What do you got? Tribal Chief, tribal combat.
Storyline wise, it does make sense for Jey Uso to finish the story by beating Roman Reigns for the title. But Jay is just not. He has the support of the crowd. He has the crowd clamoring for him to have finally, super kicked Roman and, leave the bloodline and get his revenge on Roman for all this abuse. But I don't feel like that Jey Uso is that over with the crowd. He's not like a guy getting chants all the time. He's not a guy with, maybe if he had a song with some lyrics that people could sing along to, he'd be a little more over.
He does.
What?
Day one is
down sense.
Oh,
Day one
Shut up. It's not a sing along as Seth. It's not a sing along as Cody. It's not a sing along as Chris Jericho or
that's
else.
some levels you're trying to get to. With
why do you need a song?
The bottom line is Jay is not as over as Cody or LA Knight or anybody else that's moving merchandise or getting the big attitude era pops these days. So it does. I don't think they're going to pull the trigger as much as it would make storyline sense. There's more story to tell because Solo could cost Jay the match just like he cost Cody the match, and you have Solo and Jay for Payback, appropriately named. If this wasn't for the title, if it was simply for Tribal Chief, I could see Jay going over and getting that lay around him at the end, and that would have beautifully finished the story without having to decide whether Jay gets the big wing over the years-long Universal title reign. But I would hope WWE has enough sense to at least make that Cody's win for next year's WrestleMania. It should have been this pay-per-view. It should have been SummerSlam. They should have made up for
twice in a lifetime.
They should have made up
I
for not
remember
pulling the
back at
trigger on
WrestleMania
Cody.
when I heard, "Don't
Yeah.
worry, this story's going to end at SummerSlam."
I heard that too, but I had my doubts. And look at here we are again with another Cody Brock match number 3 that doesn't mean anything. But yeah, I don't see Jay going over. I see Roman retaining for now. And Roman is scheduled to take off for. He's not going to be at the next 3 pay-per-views up until Survivor
Doesn't
Series.
that support Jay?
It does, dude.
But
They could-
he's gone away before.
They could
I
announce
agree. I agree. Mike,
but
nothing new.
Let's go, Micah Slick me to
they,
wrap it up here. What do we got?
they could announce Roman to show up at one of those pay-per-views tomorrow, though. So let's not act like they're selling tickets. They don't need
Never
him
forget
to move
when
the
they
tickets now
announced
anymore.
Backlash 6 weeks before.
All right, so here we go, guys. Jimmy Uso returns, interferes, doesn't work. Solo turns on Roman, doesn't work. Superman punch, spear. Roman with all the gold and the tribal chief, alone with Paul Heyman. The full circle story is that Roman is just better off with him and Paul. It's not nice. It's not a fun, happy story, but he's gonna dominate all the same, and this is gonna unleash a more vicious, more dangerous Roman Reigns than we have ever seen before until WrestleMania, when Cody Rhodes will dethrone him. Those are the 2 people that need to look strong on SummerSlam. Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns. Those are the guys that matter. Roman goes over.
If Jay doesn't win tonight, that's the only, to Micah's point, that's the only thing that makes sense to me, is they're pushing this till next WrestleMania with Cody.
Yeah, don't get your family involved in your workplace, because it's what breaks out at the table that the tribal chief resides at. I got Roman in a squash.
I wouldn't be shocked, bro. I would not be shocked.
But this match is gonna have a bunch of moments, and I think that here's my bold prediction: Jay is gonna get like a 5 count on Roman when the ref's down, because
That
that's
can't be a
That's typical
squash.
Roman match.
You can't call a squash.
Well, I
You
was
can't call a
kidding.
squash.
I
He's
was
going to get
kidding
5-second count.
Wait. Roman's
Bro,
going to be
you
down for the
should know
count while
by
the
now.
referee's out.
knowing me. I was kidding about this.
We don't even know the rules of this match.
Damn you, Slick.
I was
Damn
kidding
you.
about the
It's no
squash,
DQ. Yeah, that's true.
but I'm not kidding about the ref bump. There will be 1, maybe even 2 if we're lucky. We might send in another ref, and he might take a ref bump. But ref will be down, and Jay will hit the frog splash and get like a 5 count from the crowd while the ref is down, is my prediction, and Roman wins in a bullshit way. I don't know. Probably Solo is involved somehow, but yeah.
No way
that's what
Roman
I'm
wins.
Odds of a ref bump in a Roman match -1,000.
Yeah,
That's why
it'll
I
be a
said
long
over-
match. It
over
definitely
under
will
1.5.
not be a squash match. And mark this prediction down right now. Roman Reigns will cry during this match. I don't know whether it'll be because he's getting beat down so bad or whatever. And he's like, "You're the tribal chief, man," for like a low blow or some bullshit. But Roman Reigns will cry during this match. He'll also win. Unfortunately, I want Jay to win. I want
Me
Jay
too.
to win. What do you got, Micah?
No, I'm just putting the ones up.
Oh, you're putting your ones up.
Acknowledge-
I agree.
acknowledge my
It was
tribal
always going to be
I
Paul.
know,
It was
it's
always
my
going to be
team, so-
Roman.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Jay is not going to win. Again, if he wins and The Rock comes out and raises his hand, I will literally buy drinks for everyone in Detroit. I will
Yeah,
not
same.
go to the party of the summer.
Yo, if that happens, we're all hitting the casino and going.
100%. I'm
We're all
betting
in
all
the middle
bitches.
light
But
bar.
hey, shout out everyone for joining us for this party, predicting the SummerSlam 2023 results. Shout out for everyone. Make sure you're following our guys at Michael Partham, at Ernie Green, Rob Ryan, Dwayne Steinel, Jake Micah, Slick Al. Remember, it's not the show where you're wrestling with your budget. It's not the show where you're wrestling with your conscience. It is wrestling with emotion.
Yeah.
Scissor me, Micah.
Scissor me, Slick. Partham.
Oh, there we go.